Welcome to episode 9 of Explicit Materia. Yeah. Today's guest is Isaiah Lyon, fellow drummer and former bandmate. Now, in this episode, we talk about a whole wide range of topics, like the life of being a gigging drummer in Music City, and, basically talk about the industry in general, and, coping with the fact that we like country now, to the dismay of our 16-year-old selves. We also reminisce on old times, which I feel like it's necessary to fill you guys in a little backstory if you're not familiar with any of my background or his background, because we're talking and naming people by first names, and I'm sitting here just realizing, oh, you have no idea who the hell we're talking about. So I'm going to try to keep this as short and as concise as possible. So, 12 years ago, me and Isaiah were in a band with 4 other dudes: Kyle Lampy, Aaron Harmon, Johnny Greco, and Jordan Reyes. We called ourselves A Beginner's Mind, and we were strictly a progressive rock band, like Mars Volta meets Coheed and Cambria. We moved from Las Vegas to Franklin, Tennessee. Jordan's dad bought us a house, which, in hindsight, buying a house for a bunch of 20-year-olds seems a little questionable. I can't believe that house is still standing. Anyway, over time, we all went our separate ways, and Isaiah had become quite the prolific drummer for hire. And he made his own studio. He's an engineer at his own studio, Batterhead Productions. So it was a pleasure to sit down with him and just have a conversation like old times, and it was really cool to be there again with him. So yeah, that's the intro done. So without further delay, here's Isaiah Lyon.
Any headphones for this, or are we just going stag?
We're going stag. I think I got it dialed in pretty well. As long as you're not like all up in the mic like this, you're good to go. Just like a few inches away.
I really want to be there.
I got it dialed in pretty good.
Do that. I'll whisper if I get real close.
All right.
Cheers.
Well, cheers.
Good to see you.
You made it.
I made it.
I made it.
You made it.
We all made it.
We're here now.
We're here now until we go to war with North Korea, and we're all this is for nothing. We're all doomed.
What is life? I mean, really. But yeah, man.
You've been busy, man.
Dude, I've been real busy.
You've been like embracing the country.
You know, it's really hard to say no when people say, "Hey, I want to give you money to play drums." So I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
You're a sellout, bro.
I don't even care. You know what? You know when I stopped caring?
When you got that check, you're like, oh, this is good. I like this.
Well, you're younger, playing music and whatever, and obviously, we grew up doing all the same stuff. It's like, I'm never to sell out. Whatever. You know what, man? I'm old enough. I can sell out, and I don't care. Yeah. It's totally fine. Plus, I still do the fun stuff on the side.
Well, you get to play. You get to play drums, and it doesn't matter what fucking genre it is, as long as it's a genre that you can groove to and have a good time with. It doesn't fucking matter, and you're getting paid for it. That's the dream.
It really is. Some gigs are, but hey, you know what? I don't even care. Honestly, it's a blast. One of the cool things is like one of the artists that I play for, because there's a handful that I do. I actually landed the gig because I took a random gig on a day's notice for no money. And so it's one of those cool things where it was like, wow, that's talk about prime example of, it doesn't matter if you get paid, because there's always a reason for this networking, and the networking game. Yeah. Which is really
I decided to not do it anymore.
That's fair.
I'm done.
I understand. Trust me.
I'm done trying to like network and talk to people and connect with people, and
it's a rat race in itself. It really is. It's crazy.
Me personally, I've had an incident recently with a gentleman we both know, and I'm not going to name him.
Fair enough. Yeah, no, we don't need name names.
But it was just the gig fell through, and I was just like, "Fuck this." Yeah, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm going to do something I want to do. Yeah, and something So I started doing like really going inside myself and be like, what do I really want to fucking do? Oh, I want to do drum covers for like video games and anime and cool stuff like that. And so that's what I do. Yeah, I do that now.
That's awesome.
And if someone says, and if gigs come flying my way, thank you, by the way, for like sending me gigs every now and then, because I'm still down to do gigs.
Absolutely. I'll do what I can, and then for me too, it's one of the cool things and the interesting things, I guess, on the networking side is, you know, I mean, if I'm throwing a gig to somebody, I mean, that's my name on it too, you
Right.
know, and I'm 100% have full faith that you'd be fine to cover it. You know what I mean? And so
well, I appreciate that.
of
Thank
course,
you very much.
Of course,
we got to help each other out, man.
absolutely.
And same here. I mean, if you know,
totally.
if the opportunity arises, but
Well, I've been trying to get you for a while. Like, we talked about it a handful of times. We still got to do it. Is doing like a studio cover at my studio of like, I don't know, certain theme songs.
Oh, dude, I would
have
absolutely do
There's
it.
one in particular that I'm like, well, yeah, we talked about it. Do you remember?
Do I remember?
You remember?
Was it Mega Man? No. Street Fighter? No.
What's that suitcase you got over there?
Oh shit! Oh yeah, that's right. Oh yeah, you did tell me that was a while ago.
I
Yeah,
know, I think I was still working with you when we talked about it.
Yeah.
It's funny. I was screwing around with it the one night, and so I, like, you know, playing the other instruments and stuff, because I'm like, well, you obviously have to play the drums on it.
Yeah.
Like, we have to do that, and maybe we'll make a video out of it, and maybe we'll just get really drunk or something, and just like make it just the most ridiculous thing ever.
Dude,
It'd
I
be
would
great.
love to do that. I'm trying to brainstorm as far as like a really cool, like good produced one.
Yeah.
Because the ones I've been doing lately are just like fun stuff. Like I did the Castlevania one just
Right.
because of, you know,
They're
I got
turning out
inspired.
great, though.
I got inspired by the Netflix. Did you watch that?
I didn't.
It's really good. Anyway,
I've been really bad about my Netflix series, and everybody gives me crap for it.
yeah. Do you even have like, so do you just, besides like going out and drumming and stuff, do you also you've become an engineer? You went to school for it and like graduated and shit, right?
I mean, yes.
Graduated?
I graduated. Yes, I did graduate.
Because it's a school, isn't it?
It is a school. I just, when people say like, "Oh, so you got like a degree?" and I'm like, "Oh, I got a diploma." You know, I still owe them money.
Shut the fuck
So,
up. Stop
yeah.
being humble. You have it posted on your wall. And you're like, I'm so fucking.
I have it posted in my wall upstairs, out of the way, where people who come in to work on stuff don't see it. It's awesome.
But yeah, you're
Yeah,
an official engineer. So
I am actually, and I have experience too doing like live sound and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But really, I went into it because I like studio work, you know, and especially nowadays with the digital age and all that kind of stuff. And not to knock on the awesome setup you have here, but for me, like just being a drummer, doing my best to really come up with, you know, actually do the actual sounds.
Yeah.
You know, like, hey, I want that snare drum to sound great, so tune it.
Right.
And fucking play it right.
Right.
You know, like, it's just stuff like that where people nowadays, and I see people, you know, musicians, artists, writers, whatever, you know, of course there are plenty of rad tools that can help, but I don't know, maybe that's the part of me that's still latching onto that. I'm not selling out, you know, kind of
Do it for the art of it.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Of course. You know, I was fortunate enough to intern with a producer who became very popular later, and a lot of his, like the way he did things kind of really rubbed off, you know, and it was really cool to experience, you know, like go after the real sounds. Yeah. Oh, hey, you know, John Bonham had this, you know, they only had 4 or 8 channels or whatever, you know, you see nowadays in a studio, you got like 35 mics on a drum kit.
Oh, yeah.
My God.
Yeah.
But, you know, they only had so many things to work with. So why don't we approach something like that? Why don't we get a good sound with what we have, you know?
Right. Kind of minimalist. In that way.
Kinda, yeah. But I mean, also, do what you can.
Yeah, exactly.
Make what you have work.
Man, that's crazy. So have you like produced any, like, have you done like producing?
Yes.
Okay.
The only thing that I have done that people you probably have heard of is actually Wyatt came and
oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Wyatt and Kobe came in. It was awesome. It was great to see them.
I haven't seen them in
This was
so
a while
long.
ago now, too, because I hadn't seen them in forever now. And as far as I know, Wyatt's been just on the road like crazy, which is awesome.
Great. Is he still doing his own thing?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, he's
awesome.
been doing singer-songwriter stuff, and his songs just keep getting better and better.
Great.
It's really cool. And Kobe has got a big old family now. Like, I think he's got 2 kids now, and he's been,
Good for him.
Every now and then I'll get a text message here and there, but it's always good to hear from them. But anyway, so they came in and we did 2 songs, just top to bottom, just the 3 of us. We tracked every single instrument all the way, through the vocals and everything. And I don't know if he's done anything with them, but I was proud as shit of it,
Yeah.
So it was really cool, fun experience. Of course, I played on it and stuff. But yeah, absolutely. That, as far as stuff that you would know, that's it right there.
Yeah. I mean, so like, yeah, how is being in the like producer role and being being like the puppet master of everything?
It's a different hat to wear.
Play for me, my little toys.
Yeah, it's kind of fun. It's I got used to playing, I guess, the wearing two hats, being producer as well as playing the drums. But I've done a couple of sessions. I've done a couple of metal sessions where I'm literally just the producer. And I'm just like sitting there like, okay, cool, and why don't you try this? Why don't you try this? And doing just like that, fucking Puppet Master.
Yeah.
And it's awesome. It's very different, but it's a lot of fun. And it sparks different sides of creativity, which is really cool.
Yeah.
And then actually when I go back to playing, it makes me approach that a little bit differently too. Because I start thinking about it like, oh, okay, wait, hold on.
You almost like look outside of your own body.
I try to, of
how
course.
is this really going to translate?
Exactly. Exactly.
Instead of just like going in there and just rocking the fuck out.
Yeah, we're like, okay, what I would used to do is in this spot, I'd have like this huge fucking fill and just whatever. And then it's like, okay, it's pretty cool, but when I sit back and listen to it, I'm like, that doesn't really fit, or whatever, or hey, you didn't do anything there. Why don't you open up a little bit,
right?
Stuff like that. It's definitely an interesting kind of side to it.
Man, so who are you all playing with? Right? Are you just like doing a whole bunch of gigs and
essentially, yes,
a whole bunch of players, a whole bunch of bands?
Yeah. For example, like this weekend, I'm going to Chicago with an artist named Nick Allagood, and I just met him today.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, like
you're really networking then. You're
kind of, yeah.
You're just really out there.
It's pretty cool. Well, a lot of it is based on just recommendations. Word of mouth. It's huge. Like I got the gig from a buddy of mine. Oh, completely. Yeah. I've gotten more gigs from word of mouth than literally anything else I've done.
Wow.
And so, for example, just kind of the way it works is, get hit up like, oh, hey, here's the gigs, here's the songs, here's how much it pays, here's the time we're gone, or whatever.
Right.
And when can everybody rehearse? Oh, okay, cool. And you pick a day. So like today we had rehearsal, and two of the guys out of the band, out of the four of us, I just met today, and we have a gig on Friday. And what day is it? Today's Wednesday. You know what I mean? So it's interesting. So you kind of go through and you just figure out different ways to approach making sure the gig is a show. And
dude, do you have trouble, man? You obviously because you called me, you're like, hey, I can't do this because it's overlapping with this gig. So do you find yourself like kind of overwhelmed at times?
Yes.
You're like, oh shit, I have to learn 10 more songs tomorrow. Oh my god, that's the wrong band.
A little bit. It can be like that. That's why like my calendar, my phone is like my best friend.
Oh yeah.
But the thing that gets a little frustrating sometimes is you get booked on one thing and then something else happens. You're like, oh, I really wish I could. And of course I don't want to like have somebody else go take the gig because I, keep the relationships open, stuff like that. Yeah. Everybody gets the game though, which is cool. But yeah, like next weekend, funny enough, I'm actually in Chicago again with another artist, but there's I think 6 gigs I turned down next weekend because I was already booked. I'm just like, why is everybody booking on the same weekend? I want to do all of them. All of them. It's like I can't.
Well, dude, that's so good. That's so cool, man. I mean, that's like it's so crazy. I think back every now and like the whole group.
Oh man, I think about the group all the time. First off, I try not to think about that factor.
Yeah, I mean
12 years, it's nuts.
That's fucking we're so old now. So fucking old, but
we were kids, man. We were kids.
But we're all like finding our own way. It's like like Kyle's a fucking DJ.
That cracks me up every time.
A 90s house DJ.
It cracks me up. I love it.
And he's a CrossFit coach.
If you'd have told, like, okay, obviously we've known each other since we were 11. We've known each other, and like. If the three of us sat down in 7th grade, or we were 12 years old, whatever it was, in 7th grade, we're like, hey guys, in 20 years, in 20 years, this is what's going to be your lives. And we would look at Kyle and be like, what?
Because Kyle was skinnier than all of us. Kyle's only sport he ever played was golf.
Did he play it that young? I don't even know.
Yes, and to my knowledge, like he was a golfer in 7th grade.
I'll just never forget, like, because I met him in 6th and 7th grade, which you've known him your whole life, pretty much, right?
Yeah, since I was 5.
And it always cracked me. He's like, Kyle running around, he's got his glasses on and has guitar and just didn't really give a shit. Like somebody would kind of come up, give him crap, and he'd come up with some whatever comment and walk off. It was just like. It's hilarious.
He's an interesting individual.
Oh, he is. I mean, to be honest, we all are.
Yeah, I mean, we all have our own personalities, but it is still kind of crazy to me because he was never particularly athletic, although his dad like kind of forced him to do karate and do all that, so that kind of athletic stuff. But then once he had his black belt in karate, he kind of was like, oh, I'm done. And then from then on, it's like he didn't really do anything. We all
gave up on sports and all that kind of stuff. Once like high school started, I think I was one of the last ones that stayed in sports for a while. And then I was like, forget this. This is just dumb. It's like, I can't do it. It's like, I really want to play. Oh, well, you're too small.
What did you play? Did you play football?
I did.
What did you play?
I was a wide receiver and a corner, and I was like,
my freshman you in wide receiver.
I know, right? Well, I could catch. I was really good at catching, but I'm obviously extremely tall, so there's that. But yeah, no, it was funny. In my freshman year of high school, we were 4A school because I went to public school because I had a little stint in between, because we all went to Faith or whatever. But yeah, I played 4A and I started like everything. And then I think I got sick one week near the end of the season and missed. And then it was just all gone. Like they replaced me completely, just about. From then on, I was like,
that would make you
stop
wanting to play.
And I was like, oh, that sucks.
Gosh, yeah, I remember me breaking the news to my mom because my mom is like a huge football fan.
Oh yeah,
cheesehead. And I broke it to her. It's like, Mom, I just want to do music. She's just like, she was in tears. She was so sad. She literally thought that I was going to be the next, like, I don't know, fucking Brett Favre.
Wait, what did you play?
I played running back and
You're
linebacker.
A Centennial, right?
Yeah.
That's right. That's so crazy.
Yeah, I was running back and linebacker. And as my coaches will tell everyone around, I was the fastest white boy on that team.
Nice.
And I took great pride in that.
You should. That's difficult. I was always the shortest and the slowest, so you can see how well I fared.
Did you do basketball and stuff?
I got cut.
Yeah, I didn't really. I wasn't really.
I think
good
I did
at
basketball like junior high, which whatever.
I never played like
my
high
got
school.
the best man on a lot of that stuff, which I don't. Whatever.
Yeah.
Of course, then I was like,
but then we said, "Fuck sports. Let's do music instead."
Yeah. Well, now I mean, I don't play sports anymore, of course. But like what's a gym? I don't even know. But
isn't that a Pokemon reference?
I don't know. There's this guy Jim that everybody goes to, and they usually go to him like really early in the morning or like later in the afternoon or something. I've never met him. I don't know. Everybody goes nuts over him. I don't understand it. But yeah, I mean, I've kind of become more of a sports fan lately,
yeah, I actually did when we like all like moved away from each other and all started doing our own separate things. I noticed when I was like looking at your Facebook and stuff, like, wow, Isaiah's really going strong with this Titans thing.
Oh, I really did. Yeah. Of course, I picked like the worst years too.
Well, I mean, it's tough being a Titans fan.
Let's
be honest.
It's looking up so far, and I got high hopes. But
but yeah, you ran with that, man. You
I still
went to
have.
the games.
I still do.
I
got really lucky. A few years ago, I was playing for a band, and we got signed on to do the pregame show.
You actually told me that.
It was awesome. So we played. I don't know if you've been in the stadium or not, but underneath one of the jumbotrons, there's a stage there. Whatever. I think this year they have a DJ all season or whatever. But or last year they did, whatever. And we literally, while everybody's walking in, we get introduced, put on the jumbotron, and oh yeah, da da da. And we did a 10-minute set, 8 minutes. We did 2 songs, done. And they were like, yeah, cool. Just, you can have the stage is yours for the whole game. And whenever you're hungry, go to Logan's Roadhouse and just, that's a plug, by the way. But yeah, go get you some food and whatever. And
wow, that's pretty cool.
No, it was awesome. Of course, it was the year the Titans only won 2 games, but
yeah, that's pretty rough.
It was a blast, though. It was really cool to be able to do that. And it's like, yeah, I'm playing a stadium. That's cool. This doesn't suck.
No, that definitely does not suck. Kyle started doing that. Did you hear about that?
Yeah, because they started doing those parties outside. That's right. I forgot about that.
And he started DJing every time that they would have a game.
That's
they would
awesome.
be doing the outside party.
It was like the Bud Light party or something, wasn't it? There's a plug.
Yeah, there's another Bud Light and Logan's.
Yes. Hey, you know
Proud
what, man?
sponsors of the Explicit Materia podcast.
Exactly. They should be.
That should be.
They should be.
Not Blue Apron. Fuck Blue Apron.
No.
That's what I say.
I agree. It's.
Everyone loves Blue Apron, man. We tried doing Blue Apron. I'm so not getting sponsored by them now.
No.
But
either that or, enough negative press. Hey,
you never know. Maybe I'll try it again. I'm just not a very good cook. And when you put the ingredients in front of me, I kind of like get overwhelmed. I'm like, okay, what do I do? What do I do? How do I time this? Because it's like all like real deal ingredients, and I don't know. It's just I get overwhelmed. Maybe I'll give it another shot. Blue Apron, you can still sponsor me. I'll give you guys another shot.
Definitely, give him a shot. Give him a shot. Do it. Make it happen.
Oh my gosh! But like it is bringing it back to like the country music thing. Like, I never thought that I would be open to playing country, because I think all of us, I think all of us were kind of like rock music only, and then after that it was progressive rock music only, and then after that it was
like music that sounds like you're on acid the whole time only. We're like, yeah, let's do that, but we never did any drugs, of course. But well, I mean, I didn't. I can't speak for anybody else. Who knows?
I mean, some people did, some people didn't. It's all up in the air. But anyway.
No, you're totally right, though. And what's funny about it is, if you remember when we were talking about moving here, and like, oh yeah, I think we're going to move to Nashville. Like, what are you guys going to be, a country band?
Like, no, fuck you. No.
Country band. No. I would never do that. It's so funny. And now I'm like, yeah, 90% of my people I play for are country artists, which there's no knock on it by any means.
No, but it's like the common, well, you play country sucks, but like, yeah, but it's the best selling genre of music to my knowledge
right now. It's top of the world right now. It's crazy.
So somebody's listening to it. Mm-hmm. And so either you're lying. It's like the whole Nickelback thing. It's like Nickelback sucks. Somebody's listening to Nickelback. Someone's buying their records. Lots
of people. They still sell out huge shows.
I mean,
I'd play for them. I don't even care. All the way to the bank,
dude,
right?
Fucking Nickelback's drummer is fucking incredible.
That dude's amazing.
Amazing.
That dude is amazing. I don't even know his name. Do you know his name?
No.
I should, but I don't.
Because, it's Nickelback. But still, you listen to their songs and you're like, that fucking drummer's killing it.
Oh, dude, he's a monster. He really is. But yeah.
So anyway, but country now is kind of like, it's kind of like just rock and roll now.
Well, that's the upside.
It's not. There's not a lot of twang in it. It's like basically rock music with a steel guitar.
Right. Well, once the industry started changing, and rock music, in my opinion, is underground again, and it's starting to become cool again, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
But a lot of the people in the industry are former rock players or pop players, and that's why even the one genre, in my opinion, just like yours, that is on top of the world right now, that's really just killing it. If you really listen to it, it's either rock or pop with some form of little twang to it or whatever. My prime example is, when was the last time you went back and listened to the Matchbox 20 record, their debut that came out in the 90s?
Oh, it's years ago. I mean,
if you were to go back and listen to that today, that's a country record. That's more country than the stuff that's on country radio today.
Right.
And that was top 40 pop.
Or you listen to John Bon Jovi.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's true. And then a lot of the rock bands, too, are turning to country. It's interesting. I heard that Lit put out a country record. Do you know that?
No shit.
Yeah.
Lit.
Yeah. I was like, really? God. I hadn't heard it yet. I should. I need to listen to it.
The fucking band that's... That's
the one. Yeah.
I didn't mean to call you that.
That's the one.
Oh my God.
Yeah, they put out a country record. Apparently it's doing really, really well too.
Really?
That's awesome. Good for them.
It's like the only genre that's selling, so all the old rock
Steven
bands
Tyler's doing country music.
Yeah.
It's
Nathan
wild.
wrote a couple songs for him.
That's right. I forgot. Yeah, Nathan's involved with that.
Yeah.
That's so
and
crazy.
Now he's on tour with Keith Urban.
Good for him. I know that. That's awesome.
Fucking
That's
guy.
awesome. I know.
Dude, good for him though, man. He's like one of the hardest working people in this fucking town.
Him and his brother.
Yeah.
Him and Carrie both are, and they're awesome too.
Oh, dude, every time that we would be at parties and Carrie was there, without fail, he would buy the entire room shots.
Really?
Yeah, without fail. Maybe not the entire room, but at least 12 of us, 15 of us that were all in the group.
That's pretty cool.
He's like, hey, here's a shot. Hey, here's a shot. It's just, he's like so
he likes to party. That's awesome, right?
He really loves to party, and he's like so full of life, and I just love his presence in the room.
That's awesome.
He's always full of smiles and everything.
Awesome.
It's amazing.
I've met him a handful of times, like years and years ago or whatever. I would think, I don't think he would know who I am.
I'm pretty sure he's pretty good.
He might
pretty
remember.
good
I don't know.
faces.
Doesn't matter. It's all right.
But
No, that's awesome though.
And then
like I said, Nathan too. Like, dude, those dudes are awesome dudes, and they always had good music and stuff. And back when we first moved here, Luna Halo was around, and we're just like, dude, those guys are awesome.
Yeah, Luna Halo was the talk of the town.
Yeah.
Did
you get some good stories out of Nathan being on tour with them?
Yeah, I've been meaning to get. Eventually, he just had his baby. So his baby is a year old now.
What?
So he's
wow.
He's full-time daddy now.
That's crazy.
So once that kind of dies down, I'm gonna invite him, and
yes.
I really want to get into like the tour stories
Yeah.
that he told me, but I've forgotten. But like the stories that I think like the best stories that he has are when he gets into just drunken fights. That's the best. Those are the best stories, and I'm not going to ruin them right now. I'm going to let him tell them.
Oh yeah, no, I'll be waiting for that episode.
Yeah, it's gonna, dude. I just was on the floor in the van, dying laughing.
That's good.
But
oh man, speaking of stories, should we go into that venture?
What story?
What do we got here? Friggin' ABM stories?
Do we have ABM stories?
We probably do. We probably have stories we just didn't even talk about.
No, there's a lot. Most of our stories revolve around teen nakedness. Aaron would always be naked all the time.
Aaron and Kyle would try and one up him somehow, and then they would try and one up each other with their nakedness. While the rest of us are sitting in the corner going, "Oh, this is awful."
Why?
Why?
What is it about like when you're like a teenager and you're around like your best friends? You just want to get naked.
I didn't.
I mean, I didn't either. But I was wondering, it's like, why is that a thing?
Why?
Why do you gotta?
We used to joke like, man, I swear, I think I've seen Kyle's balls more than my own. Like Aaron's too.
Do you remember were you in the room when we were all living together in the house, and then all you hear is Aaron coming down the hallway? We're all stars now in the Dope Show, and he's naked.
Oh,
he's
my
completely
God.
naked, and
he's doing the Manson.
He's doing the Manson. He's got his.
He's all tucked.
Little fruit basket.
I don't think I was there that day, but it definitely happened more than once.
Yeah, that was just
he did
memories.
That. He did that before we left Vegas too. Like, it's like sometimes I just look over like, what's the matter with you?
Well, we're a bunch of idiots.
Oh yeah, weren't we though? It's so funny.
But oh yeah, I just did a country EP for Zach, who is now like a producer, and he's like started his own kind of like indie label.
Zach
kind of thing. Zach Hall,
Do I know Zach?
the other keyboard player in Five Knives. He's now doing his producer
I think
thing.
he's the one guy out of the band I never met.
Yeah, he
because like I'd known Anna for a long time because of the Worsties and all that.
Well, he's a kind of a like he has a child, so he would always be with his kid. His kid Levi, and so he would want to come and hang out, but he just had to be the dad.
Responsibilities.
But his kid's getting older now. Yeah. Eventually he'll be back on his roots. Anyway, I did a little country project for him, and it's interesting because Zach is a hip hop and pop producer mainly, and like EDM and that kind of stuff.
Makes sense.
And he just threw some like EDM tracks towards this like country guy who really enjoys like hip hop beats and cool. Pop and stuff. And he wrote on top of it. And so it's a very interesting take on country. It's like a country song that was made from future bass. It's really weird, but also really cool. And he texted me. He's like, "Hey, I want you to drum on this," and that was a lot of fun. I can't wait to hear the final product.
Have some more wine, man.
Yeah, I'm like, my throat is dry.
You look a little parched.
Yeah. But again, that's what I'm saying. It's like country is like changing.
It really is.
And it wouldn't surprise me if you'll get a full-on pop EDM track with a country singer singing on top of it.
I wouldn't be that surprised at this point either. No, I mean literally that is like we've been saying. That's the direction that everything's been going.
What do you mean? What are your thoughts on the music industry as a whole, as far as like streaming services?
Well, if that's not vague.
I mean, let me get. Let me finish the question.
Oh, sorry. Oh, I'll sit here
Like
quietly
as far
and sip
as
my
like
whiskey.
as far as like like streaming services like Spotify, what's your thought on like songwriters getting $12,000 for like 1 billion streams, that kind of stuff?
I don't really have the biggest opinion on it because I haven't really written a whole lot. I've tried, but I'm pretty, I think I suck. But I feel like I'm better sitting in the back playing drums. But I don't know. It's such a weird thing because like obviously the industry has to and has to continue figuring out ways to make money to thrive. But at the same time, like writers are becoming more starved unless the song is just unbelievably massive. And then you got certain artists like one of our favorites, Tool, who you can't find their stuff on Spotify and things like that.
No, because they sell them on their own website.
Right. And the only, like, if I'm going to stream something or whatever, like drum playlist or whatever, like I'll have to go to like YouTube or find my old iPod that has it on it or something. But I don't know. It's I don't know a lot about like the specifics on it, to be honest, on, what people are making and not making and whatever. I do know that, it is a definite racket and I don't know. It just seems real weird. Actually, I read something recently where it was rumored, or I don't know if it's true or whatever, but that Spotify had been putting out fake artists with like certain songs and that have these like an artist that has one song and like hundreds of them or however, whatever. And they have like thousands upon thousands of plays. And we were like, who is that? Like nobody knows who that is. There was like this big article.
They're fake artists? What do you
I don't know. It confused the crap out of me, but I was reading through it like, and it was basically an accusation. And who knows? Maybe I was reading the Hard Times. Maybe it's fake. I don't know. But it was basically an accusation of Spotify trying to, I guess, sort of cheat the system, or their own system, or whatever, the payout system. And it was like, a bunch of artists or something who would have one song, and it's an artist that nobody's heard of, and there's either thousands upon thousands of plays or 1 million plays or something like that. It's like,
how does that artist doesn't exist?
Right. And how did that artist get 2 million plays or 100,000 plays or whatever? And so, I don't know, my thought process on it is, I don't know. I don't know if it works in the way of like how the economy is, like the more things, then the value goes down or something. I don't know. I don't get it. But it's just kind of where my brain went.
They're doing their own inflation process.
Yes. Essentially. Yeah. And it's like,
that's interesting.
If that's true, I was like, that's scandalous as fuck, first of all.
Isn't that fraud?
I would think so.
But I bet you there's no laws in place for such a practice.
I don't know.
It's their company. It's a private company. They can do what the fuck they want, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's their own service. So I don't know. And people pay into. I don't know. I don't get it. It's interesting, but the article made me think a little bit, and then I stopped. I think I went ahead and just grabbed some whiskey and was like, forget it. I didn't want to know. The industry's cutthroat as it is. I'm like, another facet.
It's so funny. Like, and the reason why I think I'm kind of jaded about the whole thing because like I had a great time with Five Knives, and we had everything. Like, I just look back on it and just like, I can sit here and blame the label and, but like looking back on it, the label was great to us. They gave us our own bus during Warped Tour.
Nice.
I mean, like we only had like one tour under our belt. Like, and that's unheard of.
Yeah. That's awesome.
But yeah, so like, but if we were signed like maybe like 10 years earlier, then maybe we would have had a chance.
Dude, same thing with ABM.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Or every other band that we've ever been in,
Maybe if we just went to California instead, maybe it would have worked. Who knows? No. But
I think it's a double-edged sword as far as like what's going on in the industry.
Always.
Because on one hand, like services like Spotify are kind of taking advantage of artists. And on the other hand, artists really truly have the power to make themselves really fucking rich. For example, let's say an artist, a fucking 18-year-old kid who's just a prodigy among prodigies, has his own YouTube channel and knows the basics of social media, and he's able to, collect everything together, put it all, basically have his own YouTube channel, his own Twitter, and his own SoundCloud, and he gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and he makes money off of ads, and then that's all him.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, there's a lot more avenues that artists can go that can utilize or whatever, and that Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot more tools for it, a lot more ways to get your name out there, to get your music out there, to get your whatever it is that you do out there.
Yeah.
It's really cool. I think that right there is the difference, though, between like an artist and a songwriter. And I think the songwriters are the ones who are really pissed off about the Spotify stuff.
Right.
Because if you think about it, like Nashville is the number one songwriter capital, like, of the world, essentially. There's thousands upon thousands of writers here writing for 100 artists or whatever, So when it comes to that, there are plenty of people who are amazing writers, but you put them on a stage and they're like, I'll do a songwriter thing, but it's not really what I want to do. I don't want to be an artist. I'm not trying to promote myself like that. It's a different kind of avenue stream for them, and I think when it comes to the Spotify stuff, and one of the reasons why it's such a big deal in the industry is that the ones who are really getting screwed out of that are the writers.
Yeah.
Because if the money's not getting paid out, then the writers aren't really making the money. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, the artist, if they didn't write the song, then it's free ad space for them at that point. And then, they're going on the tours and the song gets popular. Okay, cool. And then it'll help the shows, it'll help this and that and whatever. So it's interesting. It's a different kind of dynamic.
But do you think that eventually there won't be any more writers? Because they're like, fuck this.
No.
I need to get paid, man.
No, they'll get creative, or somebody will get creative, or whatever. Whoever will get creative and figure out something else for it. Or, think about it. The first time this kind of thing happened was Napster.
Oh, yeah.
And they figured out a way around that. And, okay, no, Napster was free and all this. And, Metallica was a huge advocate against them. And who knew that they saw it all coming, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, they'll figure out something else. And then the industry will figure out something else. And everybody just keeps adapting and going about. Now, I don't think people will stop writing. There's no way.
Yeah.
There's no way.
I mean, I'm not saying that people won't stop writing, but like writing for... I guess they would sell their songs.
Oh, completely.
Yeah.
Because, all you need is one really that just takes off like crazy and you got mailbox money the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Well,
if you use your money right.
Well, sure, but you never know. I mean, one of some of the biggest songs in the world are still getting paid on it from years and years ago. It's like, oh, cool.
Yeah.
That was a good day.
Man, fucking
crazy, right?
And man, it's just crazy. Like, just like when you get older and you're like, man, I don't. It's like I still love playing music.
Oh, dude, I love it.
You think by now, I mean, like after so many, like after like failures or like successes and then failures, and you're going back and forth and back and forth, and then the struggle and But I still love it.
I do too.
It's
funny, like. You start sitting back, and obviously, we're getting older and whatever, and start thinking about real stuff, paying for bills, trying to buy a house, trying to, just, being a human.
Yeah.
And it's like, man, maybe if there is some sort of backup plan or whatever, and sit back and think, like, what the hell would I do? Like, no, and literally nothing else gives me the joy of working the way that playing drums does, and which is awesome. It's amazing to me that it is such a strong passion, which is cool, and it pushes me to continue. I mean, country was never a genre that I thought I'd ever be playing in, but I mean, I'm having a great time doing it.
Yeah.
And then once again, I still have my other projects on the side too. I have a rock band that I play for and stuff, and we do like some tribute shows every now and then. Like I played a pop punk show a couple weeks ago, and we did a whole Green Day set. Oh, dude. It was a blast.
That's so much fun.
I got hammered and played some Green Day. It was awesome.
Dude, fucking Green Day.
Oh, it was awesome. Yeah. We had a blast. We did that. We did we had a Dave Grohl tribute night that I played like 5 or 6 songs on, and whatever, just in the crowd. There was a huge crowd. It was awesome. It was at the Basement East. It was a blast. Just stuff like that. And so
I like the Basement East, man.
I do too.
It's a good room.
Great venue.
Yeah.
Great venue. But yeah, it's stuff like that kind of still keeps the certain side of it, because a part of it does turn into work when it comes to doing all these other gigs and stuff. Because to be honest, I figured out a way to do charts, kind of learned how to do charts for myself. Because learning 30 songs in a week is really hard.
It is very important to I don't know exactly. I'm not a big advocate of. Oh no, hang on. Let me try to word this. I'm not really good on theory. Let's just say I'm not really good on theory, but I know a little bit of kind of just charting and a little bit of
Do you know
notes
basic
in
rhythm
here.
theory?
Basic rhythm theory, yeah.
That's really where I'm at.
Yeah.
I kind of created my own system
Yeah,
for
and
it.
I did too. And so it's so important to be able to read as you're listening.
Oh, yeah. Sight reading's hard.
It's like it's activating two parts of your brain
Completely.
as opposed to just listening to it and then playing on top of it, which is, you can, if you can do that, that's great. But if you can read it and listen to it at the same time, it's like you learn like twice as fast.
Oh, yes. Very true. Very true.
So to all those drummers out there, chart
honestly,
your shit.
Oh, yeah, completely. Like, all musicians. Like, it's a whole other avenue of it. It's kind of crazy. Like, I totally understand the jaded side, because I went through a very large jaded phase, and then I kind of reapproached. Changed my approach, I should say. And when I started looking at it in a way of I'm like, okay, I'm at this point running my own business, and I'm freelancing, if you call it contract work, whatever you want to call it. And so the upside is, hey, I got all the freedom in the world. I can take this gig, I could take that gig, I could do whatever, but I have to go get those gigs sometimes too. It's give and take kind of thing. But once I started approaching it that way, it definitely helped, because I've been through my share of, I'm in a band, and we're getting popular, and things are starting to roll, and we're starting to get attention, and person XYZ over here wants to sign us, wants to give us a deal. Like, oh, okay, cool, yeah, that's awesome, yeah, okay, the band's getting signed, and well, actually, we're gonna sign this guy, and everybody else is fired. It's like, oh, well, that's and if you're committed and in a band and stuff, like we all were, and
that hurts.
Oh, it's hard. It's really hard, and that creates a lot of the jaded side of it. That's a big part of the cutthroat side, But like I said, for me now, if one of my artists gets a deal or something, and then management comes in and is like, oh, well, we're gonna audition players, like these guys aren't gonna make it. I'm like, okay, cool, like no hard feelings. I get it. It's fine. I got my other gigs that I'm still, I don't ever put all my eggs in one basket anymore. I just can't.
Yeah, I think that's a smart way to do it. I mean, that's essentially the same thing I did.
Right. You got it, though. I mean, you got to protect yourself at the end of the day.
Yeah. It's funny, because I never really thought like that, because...
It took a while for me to think like that.
Yeah, because when you're young and you're going through, like, we're going to make it, man. We're going to be famous,
Those days are fun.
Those days were fun. Being an optimistic teenager.
Yeah.
And then, it's hard to, like...
Oh my gosh, I'm pouring it really weird.
When you're when you're a loyal person...
Yeah.
When you're a loyal person and you're in it to the very end.
Absolutely.
And then you don't when you're doing that, you're not focusing on yourself at that point.
Well, I mean, you always are to an extent, but yes, I totally agree.
Well, I mean,
like,
what I'm saying is, like, when
go.
A Beginner's Mind, when I did that Crazy Drummer video, that's on Keith's YouTube. That's not on my personal YouTube.
Really?
Yeah. I didn't create a personal YouTube until this year.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And my first video was the Attack on Titan drum cover. That was it.
Ah, okay.
Actually, that's not true. I've had the YouTube channel for like 2 years, but
I've
I
had
never
my own
really
channel or account or whatever.
I never really utilized it until this year.
Yeah,
is what I'm saying.
When you say it like that, I haven't. I probably should. I haven't done it at all.
Yeah. But I've always done things to help whatever group I was in.
Yeah, absolutely.
When I was in Five Knives, I would like literally drop everything to attend to whatever the band needed or band wanted, or I have to be over here to meet, this producer that's going to produce our record, or like, oh, that guy's not going to work, let's go over here. Yeah. Oh, we have to fly to LA. Let's go fly to LA, And so you drop everything. And like I said, you asked me before, is like, what made you want to do this? I've always wanted to do this. I remember listening to podcasts like 3 or 4 years ago, but I never really had the time or energy to like really,
well, especially if you dive that hard into a project like a band like that, whatever, and that's a great thing though. It's still, there's still great qualities in my opinion to having a project like that.
No, I'm not saying there isn't. I'm just saying when you do that and then all of a sudden it doesn't work,
everything else goes on the back. Oh yeah, and then it doesn't
and then
work.
You're kind of like, oh,
it kind of hurts more.
Fuck.
Yeah, like okay. Now what?
Now what do I do?
Yeah.
But
like I said, for me, that's why I changed my approach a little bit.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, cool. Like, don't get me wrong. I have high hopes for the artists that I play for. I enjoy playing for the artists that I play for. And that's a good thing, too, because, there's nothing worse than going to a job that you don't like to do. So, similar idea, even though I am playing drums, which is nice.
That's always nice.
Always nice.
Drums are the best instrument to play, by the way.
Yeah, if you don't play drums, you suck.
You're not having fun.
You're not having fun ever.
Unless you're like Victor Wooten. He looks like he's having fun.
He does. And Bootsy. Oh, Bootsy's definitely having fun.
Bootsy's definitely having fun.
At least they're in the rhythm section. They get half credit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's this dude, I forget what his name is. It's James something, but he posts stuff on Facebook, and it's like different, like he does like band member memes. Like he does like, this is like certain like looks of drummers.
Oh God.
You know, oh God, it's hilarious. I mean, I don't want to ruin it, but yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah,
like there's, the certain like,
I know what you're talking about.
It's like, the headbanger or the
one who's stoned all the time.
The guy who's stoned, or because then you watch, you're like, oh my God, I played with these people before.
Oh, completely.
Or like bass players, he does bass players too, and he's
That's
like
hilarious.
the guy who didn't learn the choreography, and it's like this against this like hardcore. When like hardcore bands that have the drop, they all have choreographed like dances, whatever, and the bass player
just standing there. That's
he's
so
like looking
good.
at everybody.
That's so good. I
Didn't learn the
sometimes
choreography.
the internet just wins. Like there's some good stuff out there. There's some really horrible stuff out there. But there's certain days where I'm like, this is just the greatest day for the internet.
Most of it is crap.
Oh, most of it, yes. But like I said, every now and then, day, and it's just like one thing after another. I'm like, I keep finding like the greatest things ever. It's awesome.
Man, do you remember fucking Halo?
Oh,
in the band house?
Oh, one of the greatest and worst times of my life.
I mean, fuck.
I've never been more mad at Aaron in my life.
I've talked about that house on this podcast many times, and I don't think
it was Curtis's house, wasn't it? You're talking about the Franklin house.
Yeah, Franklin house. When we all moved out here moved into that giant house, and we all had rooms, and every single room had an Xbox, and every Xbox was attached to the LAN, and we would just LAN party the fuck up.
Oh my God, I couldn't even imagine if somebody walked in, because we left our door open all the time too. Like I couldn't imagine if somebody walked in during the middle of one of those, like the amount of obscenities that were being screamed by everybody simultaneously.
Just a lot of offensive things.
Very offensive things that should never be said by people.
But you know what's sad? That will never happen ever again, because they don't do LAN parties anymore.
Yeah, the LAN parties were the best. Once everything got online, that's when it ruined the world.
I mean, it really did, because you're fucking dealing with like some 12-year-old who's like way better than you, and it just pisses you off more than anything. You're like, damn it!
Where you sleep, kid?
Just fuck. That's what pissed me off.
Oh, that drove me nuts.
Oh,
yeah, and we're like, oh wait, we gotta go do stuff. This kid's gonna sit here and get better and talk more shit on us. Damn it,
God. And then I remember you would always play Guitar Hero.
Oh, dude, Guitar Hero was my jam.
Dude, yes, it was. You ruined a lot of songs for me because you would always play the fucking...
You know what's funny?
Like that Wolf Mother track? That Wolf Mother track? Ruined. Because I would hear it every time I would come home from work.
So good.
You're like, oh, okay, fucking Isaiah's playing
Guitar Hero again.
Guitar Hero again.
That's funny. I still ruin songs for people, but in a different way. I started... So, playing for a bunch of country artists and stuff, I start to learn a lot of country catalogs and stuff that I never would have before. And there are a handful of songs here and there, and I don't need to name names or whatever on any of the songs, but certain songs get played by more than one artist. And I started ruining them, not necessarily on purpose. I just kind of screwing around, but I'll change all the lyrics to them to either something offensive or just something completely different, and then whoever's sitting there is like, guys, this is my favorite song ever. And then I'd sit there for a second and just listen, change all the lyrics. So I could literally never hear that song ever again.
Yeah, Isaiah, you ruined Dave Matthews for me, by the way. So on that note, I can't listen to Dave Matthews anymore.
How could you not though? It's Carter Beauford.
I know. Thank you.
Hey, cheers, right?
Cheers. Oh,
just call me the ruiner. It's okay.
But, oh man, do you even have time? Do you even still game anymore?
Every now and then. When it comes to Halo or something, I stay as far away just because I don't have the time to get any good at it anymore either. And
just to be
I'll forget it.
frustrating.
It's just, I'll get more mad at it than anything else. Like lately, I play like Madden or actually most recently I've been playing. Well, I'll go like on because I still have an Xbox. I'll go on like the marketplace and they do like the games with gold or whatever. You get a free game every month or something. Sometimes it's a good one, sometimes not. I love Assassin's Creed, by the way.
Oh yeah,
and then
coming out with a new one.
Oh yeah, but I usually wait till like 3 years after they're, so I don't have to spend the $89,000 on a game. And it's like, oh, it's on sale for like $10. Mine. Okay, now is the time. So I'll do that. Or lately I've been playing Burnout. It's like the racing game or whatever.
Yeah.
Have you played that one?
No, I've not.
No, it's a lot of fun. It's really cool because like there's certain games you could do in it where one's called like Takedown, where you literally have to like these other cars are racing with you or whatever. You have to crash them as much as you can, which is a blast. Stuff like that.
Yeah, I never really got into the racing games.
Well, like I said, it's not entirely racing. It's not only a racing game, I should say, because you can do races and stuff. Yeah. But yeah, I like crashing the other cars.
Dude, do you remember the game? It was an old PlayStation game, and I used to play it religiously. Destruction Derby or Demolition Derby. Is that what it was? I think it was Destruction Derby.
I feel like I remember the name, but I couldn't.
And there was races. You would get to
Right.
you start at one point and you end at the other, but there are other times where it's just a giant circle, and the goal is to just destroy every car that you can, or stay away from every car until the very end, and you're the last car standing. And I'm surprised that like that game.
Yeah, I don't think I ever played that.
Dude,
one.
I played it religiously.
Okay, what's your favorite game you got on the windowsill over here?
Oh, Chrono Trigger.
Oh, it's right in the
Chrono
middle.
Trigger.
Makes sense. See, I would have leaned towards Turtles in Time right there.
That's my pride and joy.
That's the jam.
A lot of these are actually stuff that
There's good ones over there.
Or Super Mario RPG. Super
Nice.
Mario RPG is one of my favorites. I mean, I got a lot.
Oh, dude, Super Mario World. That's a good game.
Yeah, I probably should burn this Troy Aikman's football.
Yeah, you probably should.
I mean, that game is awful.
It's almost as bad as, what was
terrible.
it, Bulls vs. Blazers? Was that like a Sega game? You remember that one?
Bulls vs. Blazers?
I think it's called Bulls vs. Blazers. I don't know, it was a really terrible game.
Dude, do you remember when we set up we'd set up Sonic and we tried to beat it in one night? Or Gauntlet.
No, I never did Gauntlet, but Sonic, yes.
We tried to beat it in one night.
Sonic, I couldn't even beat. Like Sonic, I could. I don't think I could make it to the end levels. I think I finally beat Mega Man 2 like 4 years ago.
Oh yeah, I remember you got it when it came out for Xbox 360.
No. I had it on the Wii.
Oh, it was the Wii. Yeah, you bought it on
they
the
did
Wii.
all the virtual console.
Yeah.
So maybe that's when I beat it. I don't remember. But yeah, I got on there.
You made it your life's goal to beat that game. You're like, I'm gonna fucking beat this game.
It took so long. That's the funny thing about like games nowadays compared to what they were in the day. They were hard a long time ago.
Were really hard.
Really like Metroid. You ever go back and play original Nintendo Metroid? It's impossible. You get one life. If you die on level 17 or I don't know how many there are, and you're almost to the very end, you die. You start over. Like it's over. See you bye.
Fucking
one life.
Kids today, they'll never know the struggle.
Like, oh my god.
They'll never know the struggle of those fucking games.
No, the best still is like you were saying with the LAN parties and stuff. I remember even before we left Vegas doing LAN parties, and you play Capture the Flag. You get a whole team in one room, a whole team in another room, and you hope to God Aaron didn't get into your base with a shotgun.
Son of a bitch.
Although when I was on his team, that was our favorite thing to do.
Oh yeah. It's always good when Aaron is on your team because he's the best player.
I never told him that. I never admitted to it.
No one ever did.
No,
like
he gloated about it. He would say it all the time. We're like, no, you're not.
No, you're not.
No, you're not.
You're not the best player.
Because we always played no shields. So like one shotgun hit from like 30 yards, you're dead.
That's the best way to play it, though.
Oh, dude,
it's so fun.
Those games lasted like 8 hours. One game of Capture the Flag on Blood Gulch, 8 hours. Like I saw the sun come up way too many times playing that game.
Oh my god,
so good,
dude.
Hey, speaking of all that kind of stuff, you know whose birthday's today?
Whose birthday?
Joe.
Oh, Burton?
Yeah.
Oh, he changed his name to Burton now, so
Well,
I have to call him
That's
Burton.
his middle name. I don't ever call him that. He's like, it's Burton. I'm like, hey, Joe.
I have way too many friends that have changed their name like 10 years after I've called him a certain name. Like, I can't call you.
I can't do it. Love you, man. No.
I just can't do it, man.
Can't do it. Yeah, it's his birthday today.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday, Burton. See, I'm respecting him.
Yeah, I'm not. I'll say happy birthday.
Oh, what?
I can't do it.
Isn't he doing modeling now?
Probably. I don't know. He's been in California for a while.
Fucking handsome
for a long time. He is a handsome man. I will admit that. That's.
He's always been handsome.
No, totally. He's a good dude. I hadn't talked to him really that much in a while, but yeah.
He texts me every now and then.
Yeah. Every once in a long while, I'll hear from somebody.
There was a time, actually, I tried to text him all the fucking time, and for some, he for some reason got rid of cellular, and he got on this kick of he wanted to do only I forget what it was. I think it was Facebook messaging, or it was some sort of instant messaging.
He was always notorious for stuff like that. I always called him a recluse because he'd hang out and be friends texting wise or whatever, or talk, whatever it was, and then you wouldn't see him again for 3 weeks. You're like, where the hell is he?
Go.
He's not answering his calls. He's not answering his texts. What are you doing?
Then he comes back and he has this life altering discovery.
Oh yeah,
that he has to tell you.
Yeah. They were always pretty intricate too.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, I would love having conversations with Joe about just the universe.
Dude. First time I ever smoked was with Joe, and it was interesting.
That must have been
It was incredible. Interesting. The funniest part about it was he didn't talk. And what I mean by that is he didn't talk normally.
What do you mean he didn't talk normally? In another language?
No, he literally would rap. Every single thing he said, no matter what context it was, no matter whatever it was, it had a rhythm to it. It was the weirdest thing.
Was he in? Okay,
I was about to imitate him, and I was like,
was that just you being high,
no,
or was he literally trying to?
No, he was baked, and he just. And he just had a rhythm to his everything he said. He was the only one that if it was because of me, everybody would sound like that. There was 4 of us together. I was like, "What the hell is he doing?" It was pretty good.
Oh man,
I definitely enjoyed the crap out of that.
I wish I enjoyed smoking.
It's extremely rare for me.
I can't do it, man.
Yeah,
it's like I get into this.
Every once in a while, I'll be like, "Yeah, cool."
There's
I just pass out or something.
Yeah, the same with me. I'll be I'll enjoy it for the first 10 minutes, and then after that, I'm I don't talk to anybody. I kind of just zone out.
Yeah, I do that. Stare at the wall, and then realize it 2 hours later.
Yeah, I'm sitting in the corner eating Cheetos. No one has seen me for an hour.
Yeah.
And then
I heard a chuckle over there
because she knows it's true. She knows it's true.
That's good.
My wife has concurred.
We have confirmation.
We have confirmation. She has validated that. Yeah, I'm not the best. I wish I could be like Aaron and Jordan and just fucking.
That in itself cracks me up.
I know. Remember,
where did that come from?
Aaron was the biggest advocate against smoking marijuana.
He was the biggest advocate against that and drinking and literally anything, any kind of substance whatsoever. Anything. Yeah. It was funny. It was oh, okay, cool. And then yeah, because we it was around the time we all kind of started. It was when we first started, kind of all I guess parting ways, if you will, whatever. But yeah, and then I remember I came and hung out or whatever, and Aaron was like, "Yeah, man, come on, you want to come smoke or whatever?" I was like, "What did you say?"
Wait, are you Aaron?
Who? What? Wow, that cracks me up though. I'm like, whatever.
Yeah, they're dude, they're just in it. Yeah. They're in. That's their life now.
Yeah, I've heard that. I don't know. I hadn't talked to them in a while. Probably should. I saw actually on Facebook recently that Jordan's been doing DJ sets up in Germantown.
Mm-hmm. Actually, Jordan moved. Jordan technically moved to LA. He's actually.
Did he actually go? I didn't know.
He moved to LA this year without even telling us that. Fuck. He just up and left.
Well, I heard that they were all looking at going. Or I say they all, but him and Aaron. I heard that they were looking at going. And actually, I ran into Aaron and Logan. We were on the same flight to Vegas a year ago or something.
Yeah.
And I asked about it. They're like, "Yeah, it was on the table for a minute, but no, we're not going."
Yeah.
So I mean, I didn't really know if it was happening or not.
Yeah. Jordan moved to LA. He actually was in the studio with Jason Derulo.
Oh, really? Cool.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Doing like songwriting and stuff. So he's really happy doing that. But he's in town because Base Camp is working on their full length album.
Ah.
And I think Aaron told me that they rented a cabin in Gatlinburg and turning that whole cabin into like a
Pretty
studio.
Cool. That'd
Like
be
bringing
fun.
all their equipment and just
That'd be a
set
lot
up
of
in there.
fun.
Like how awesome would that be?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a lot of fucking work bringing your whole fucking studio to.
We should find out where it is. Just show up. Hey man, I heard some noises. What are you guys doing?
ruin their whole vibe. Dude, man, we gotta go. You gotta come in here.
It would be good to get together though. I hadn't seen like I'm trying to remember the last time we were all in a room together.
Probably was my wedding.
Yeah. It's got to be.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I mean, it's just they're doing their thing. Well, plus if fucking Aaron didn't move to fucking Madison.
I didn't know that's where
bought him and Logan bought a house in Madison.
Okay, and Kyle's been in East Nashville, right?
Yeah, he's been in East Nashville just sitting on his fucking gold mine.
That's awesome.
Bastard.
It's gold mine, huh?
I mean, it's a gold mine. Like
Cool.
he bought his house in East Nashville for $100,000.
Oh,
That was
and at
6
this
or 7
point-
years ago.
Oh god, yeah. At this point now,
That house has to be at least $450,000.
I haven't even seen it. I haven't been there.
I mean, it's a cute little house. It's brand
I bet
new.
it's awesome. I know he built like the studio and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's a separate building, isn't it?
Yeah, he built it himself
That's
with his
rad.
bare fucking hands. Fucking crazy man.
Who's this guy?
Who is this man?
Who is this man? He's a CrossFit guy. He's building stuff. What
Fucking
happened?
Kyle. Kyle fucking Lampy has been.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I need to get him on the podcast.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
I think I say it like once a year. I'm like, yeah, we should all get together and like do an like a show for old time's sake, and it never happens.
I mean, maybe we should just
I
do
say it like once a year.
Maybe
for the
I should
past,
just
like 8
organize
years.
like a big podcast.
That'd
And
be
just
fun.
have like 5 mics. I'll have to buy
Kool-Aid
more
Kids
mics.
style.
Oh, Kool-Aid Kids. Oh my god, I gotta find
That's
those
on my
songs.
iPod. I've got it in the car actually.
Oh my god. Fucking Kool-Aid Kids.
I usually keep my iPod on shuffle, so like the most random things will pop up, and every once in a while I'm like, oh my god, I keep forgetting this is on here.
We've done so many, like, for those that are listening, they have no idea what the fuck we're talking about. Like,
yeah.
the Kool-Aid Kids, when we were all in a band together, we decided to do a side project.
We did side projects
all the time.
All
We
the
did-
time.
And one of our side project was Kool-Aid Kids, and it was all acoustic instruments, correct? Am I right in saying that?
Yes, it was. And I think it was because we did it because I think Johnny was out of town, and because we didn't have anything else to do.
Yeah,
we're like, all right, well, we're not working on band stuff, so let's do this. Well, Aaron threw up like 2 or 3 mics in the room, and remember we kind of just sat there like, okay, what's a good topic, and we just like everybody just rattled off dumb stuff, and okay, let's write that. And I got some chord progressions. All right, cool, let's do that.
I'm gonna put the Kool-Aid Kids while we're talking about this, just like underneath this.
You need to.
Like, yeah.
Do you have it?
Yeah, it's in
like on a hard drive or something.
Yep, I do somewhere hidden.
So good. So if you don't, we'll figure out a way to rip it off my iPod. I've got it. It's so good.
Oh man.
We always talked about doing a second one too. We did like 4 songs.
I mean, Aaron is always he's still on the side project.
Cool.
He's always wanting to do more and more stuff.
That's one of the cool things where, like, you know, we talk about the passion of continuing to play drums all the time and stuff. I mean, for Aaron, it seemed like it's been a little interesting in that his passion not necessarily was with guitar, it was just creating music, which was really cool, you know. And so like
Give me some of that whiskey. Sorry,
Yeah,
to
no.
interrupt you.
Well, don't put it in there, dude.
That's fine.
All right.
Whatever. I don't want to get up.
Fair enough. But yeah, he's just creating music and stuff. He always had the side projects, you know. He had a side project with every one of us individually, remember? Yeah. And then we all collaborated and we all did this. It was cool.
We did the SIA project.
Yeah, we did. You remember that avant-garde thing we did?
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Dude, we remember like the improvs that we would do. I actually listened to the improv not too long ago.
Really?
Man, we were fucking good.
We were good. It's true.
You ever just like listen to yourself?
We literally hung up the towel like Wait, a little bit too soon.
I mean, that kind of life is just, in hindsight, I mean, a progressive rock, I mean, yeah, we were pretty good. But I mean, look at Mars Volta. They're the most successful progressive rock band, in our generation.
Aside from like Dream Theater. Well, I mean, our generation, sure. Yeah.
Yeah, our generation's Mars Volta. Yeah. And you don't really hear about Mars Volta anymore. Do they still even tour?
I think they still put out records and stuff, but it's one of those you have to be diehard fans. Like Aaron probably still knows about them, to be honest. He probably does.
Yeah.
That was a cool thing, actually. Living in the house was, once again, still, I guess, not to keep stroking Aaron, but it was cool because anytime we heard about new music and stuff, a lot of times it came from Aaron. He found music very well. And
yeah,
it was interesting. He turned me on to a lot of stuff. It was pretty cool. Actually, funny story. So we all became big fans of Dredge. Remember we were all way into it and whatever. So I was on tour last year. Actually, I wasn't playing, but I was working as a tech for. Actually, it's the shirt I'm wearing for the Deadheads.
The Deadheads, yeah.
Deadheads, they're freaking badass.
Yeah.
But I was on tour with them last year because they needed some help.
You were tour
and
managing, right?
I was like more like stage managing kind of thing. Hey, whatever. Yeah. It was a blast. And one of the bands, the headliners were Bush and Chevelle, which was awesome.
Yeah.
But the other opening act, like we essentially had it to where it was the four bands, and then we'd split off. Like we went with Chevelle, we went with Bush, and then Chevelle took off with this other band. But this other band, they're called Black Map, and they're fucking awesome. So you get a chance to check them out. They're awesome, and they're rad dudes. But the crazy part about it is, I find out while we're on tour that the guitar player from Black Map is from Dredge.
What?
Yeah. And I remember, I think I was kind of drunk at the time, and I totally nerded out on him. And I was like, kind of fangirled on him. And I was like, what?
Dude,
I was like, wait. I was like, Dredge was your band? He's like, yeah. And I was like, I fucking love your band, man. I was like, oh my God.
Dude, we loved Dredge.
Dude, yeah. So, like, his name's Mark. One of the nicest guys, dude. Awesome guitar player, but I was like,
of course he's awesome. Isn't Dredge?
Yeah. Dredge was his band. It's like, that's badass. But yeah, his new band is called Black Map, and they're badass.
Did he tell you what their drummer's doing? Because that drummer was fucking great.
He was good. I don't know. I tried not to dive into those kind of questions because how it goes. If you're not in a band anymore, you never know if there's hard feelings or anything like that. I just didn't want to. I was like, I didn't think it was necessary.
Right.
I felt like I kind of fangirled enough on him.
Yeah. Damn, that's crazy.
But yeah, I was like, this is nuts. But yeah, cool dudes, and like I said, Black Map's dope. Check them out. Really cool.
All right, I'll give him a listen.
Yeah, so cool. But yeah, man, it's so funny. Like thinking about like all the old influences and stuff. I've recently started to reach back into some of the old stuff we used to listen to back in the day. It's like, man, it's crazy what we used to listen to, and I've even gone through and listened to some of the old ABM stuff, and yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
It was weird.
It was very weird.
But it was good.
It's hard for me to listen to it sometimes. Like, why the fuck would we have to change time signatures during the chorus? Why would we have... No, and not even time signatures. Time, like, tempo. Actual tempo changes.
Yeah, I remember that.
And change
You would get so pissed off every time we went to record a song because the tempo changed. You're like, I don't want to do that. Can we keep it the same tempo?
Tempo is so, like, just keep it real, man. Just keep it so fucking real. Like, Mars Volta doesn't have, like, drastic time changes like we did.
No, they don't.
They're like straight groove the whole time.
I mean, even Coheed didn't do any kind of time changes, and those were like our biggest influences.
Yeah, I recently did a project with somebody who, they didn't want me to play to a click, and which is great, which
in the
is
studio,
fine.
You mean?
No,
they're just like it all
live.
Oh, okay. Well,
normal. That's normal. That's fine.
Yeah.
But if you're like if you're a tempo Nazi,
yeah.
And you're just getting a drummer that literally learned songs within like that week, with maybe 2 days notice.
Yeah,
you might want to look into having you might want to think about having a click.
Well, one of the tricks that I do, since learning songs on the fly or whatever, I have my chart, and then I always write down the tempo. And then what I do is I have a metronome, usually like on my phone or something, but I keep it on silent so I can just kind of see it. And then I'll keep an eye on it, and I'll kind of just get the tempo in my head or whatever. And then I turn it off because I still I'm not playing to a click, but it gets me started at least. Because even you go through 20, 30 songs or whatever, I'm like I couldn't even tell you which song this is. I'm looking at the chart, got the tempo, and like, okay, here's the tempo. I'm like, I have no idea what song this is. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I, once again, with learning and figuring out my own system of the chart, I know what the groove is because I can see it and I remember writing it.
Right.
A lot of the grooves are similar.
Seeing it visually puts it in your brain like, oh, this is this song.
Well, not even that this is this song. This is this groove. And then once I kick in, so I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Just kind of keep it being professional. I got to keep my job accurate and whatever. And kick in, and once the song actually starts, you hear whatever chord starts, or if there's like a lick or something the guitar player's doing, I'm like, okay, now I remember what, and it helps me kind of get back in the groove. But like I said, to kind of help me get started, I'll have that metronome sitting right there, and even though we're not playing to a click, I'm like, all right, and here's our starting point. Because
right,
I mean, I've had some gigs back in the day before I really figured out what I was doing. It was like, you kind of look at the guitar player or whoever else, like deer in headlights, like, wait, which song is this? Like,
yeah,
I can't remember which
scariest
one's which.
Scariest moments on stage.
Panic.
Because people who aren't drummers don't realize how important the drummer is.
Oh yeah, well some people do, but
some
yes,
people,
they
will
right.
once the drummer fucks up.
Oh yeah, once you get somebody in there that screws it up, that's when you go, oh yeah.
The drummer is more important than any other fucking member on there.
Completely.
If
the drummer's your grid.
The drummer's the bus.
Yeah.
The drummer is the bus. Yep. If the bus stops, no one's getting to their destination.
Yeah. Yep. That's exactly right.
The singer is the driver of the bus. Maybe.
No.
I'm trying to put all this into analogies.
Let's see here. I always compare it to like a human body, if you will. Like the singer is the face.
Oh, okay.
The drummer is the bones. The bass player are the muscles. And the guitar player is like the skin or whatever else.
Who's the brain? See, I would have figured you would say the drummer's the brain.
The songwriter is the brain.
Ooh. Oh, there we go.
There it is.
See, we gave songwriters some credit.
Absolutely. They deserve credit.
They didn't get paid, but we gave them credit though.
Not yet. Not by Spotify anyway.
It's for the exposure. It's for the exposure.
It's the 4 worst words. You see, I don't know. I counted it out. It's for the
exposure. Wait, it's not consonants.
Okay, forget it. Let's just keep drinking.
Exposure.
Quit counting.
It's 4 words. Yeah,
it's for the exposure. The worst 4 words any band could ever hear.
Well, any artist,
any musician too.
Just like fuck you in your exposure.
God, that reminds me. You remember? I don't remember what band we were playing with, but it was the ABM days. We played this gig, and they tried to screw us on the payment, and they were like, "Oh, well, we felt you guys should just be honored to play with us." We're like, "Get fucked, man! Give us our money."
Did that happen?
Yeah.
When did that happen?
I forget. It was before we moved here.
Oh, okay.
It was a Vegas deal.
Was it the Cheyenne Saloon?
No, it was a Cheyenne Saloon. Although they probably pulled that too. But I forget where it was. But I remember that specifically because we all hovered around, we essentially hunted them down. And I want to say DTF was on the show too, and they just kind of were like, "Oh, okay, yeah, no, we were really glad to play with you guys." And
Divided they fall. Wow.
I saw EJ recently.
Did you see EJ? Really?
Yeah, he goes by Evan now. So I was like, EJ, and he turned around with this look on his face, like, who the fuck called me that? And I was like, hey! And he was like, oh my God, what's up?
Didn't was it EJ that became a EJ?
No.
DJ?
No. That's Mikey Latino.
Okay. No. Well, I swear one.
Oh no, Brandon.
Brandon. Wasn't he like a famous DJ? He was part of some DJ group that became really huge and famous
or whatever. But I remember seeing a bunch of videos he'd put up because he started doing the DJ stuff. God, I can't remember if it was like Facebook or MySpace or something. He'd put up videos and whatever. And then next thing I know, after I want to say like a year's worth of him just putting up videos like once a week or a month or whatever, he suddenly he did a show or he got an offer for something. And the next thing you know, he puts up a video of him in this huge studio, and next thing you know, his next thing is of this show that's got thousands upon thousands of people. I'm like, what the fuck just happened?
Dude, it's that fucking DJ.
It was when it was like exploding out. I want to say like Skrillex was brand new kind of thing.
Dude, do you follow Diplo at all?
No.
Don't
Okay.
do it.
Don't do it.
It'll just make you hate your life. He plays for
That's probably Brandon.
hundreds of thousands of people, and he has ginormous shows, and he just hangs out like in the backstage. It's like he has just fucking. He's just hanging out with the most beautiful women, and just like fucking decked out in all this awesome clothes, and just like you're like, fuck, man.
Is he all tatted out? Because if he is, it's probably Brandon.
No, it's Diplo.
No, I know, but it's like I don't remember what group he's in. It was probably Brandon.
Yeah, it's probably Brandon.
Yeah.
Fucking that DJ world, man.
It did. It exploded.
I remember
I mean, it's still
specifically.
big in Vegas. I don't know how big it is anywhere else.
I remember
anymore,
specifically Aaron. Of course, we bring it back to Aaron.
Right.
He always like tells us who the next big thing is going to be. I remember specifically.
I love
said,
when he was wrong.
He said, "Do you
There was
listen
a
to
few of them.
Do you
It's
listen to Skrillex?"
Oh, dude.
And I go, "This was what? This is like 7 years ago,
At least.
at least." It's like, "Do you listen to Skrillex?" I'm like, "Who the fuck is Skrillex?" He's like, "Dude, don't you like From First to Last?" I'm like, "Yeah, I love From First to Last." And he's like, "Yeah, so the singer, it was Sonny, right? Yeah,
Sonny Moore.
yeah, he has this DJ. He's like this DJ
I
now."
told somebody that recently.
It's like-
and they about shit their pants. I was like, yeah, you didn't know that?
Yeah, and that's when I learned about dubstep, and I was
Yeah.
like, "What the fuck is dubstep?"
Yeah.
And then I listened to Skrillex, and I fell in love. And
Yeah.
I was like, "This is fucking awesome."
What's really funny about that is when he first left the band, I remember reading on, you remember Aaron always called it the source? So I always,
The source.
so I went and checked it out every now and then because I had the website. It was the PRP.com. It was great. But I checked out, I remember seeing on there, because I was a fan of From First to Last. I think Aaron like knew who they were, but whatever. But it's like, yeah, Sonny apparently left and like went to be on his own or whatever. And, you know, they're just getting big and, you know, blah, blah, blah. And Aaron goes, oh, yeah, good move.
Classic Aaron.
Classic Aaron. You know, kind of like, you know, Panic at Disco. What band is that?
We got to tell the story. We got to tell
yeah.
the story.
We should.
I think everyone knows about Panic at the Disco. Everyone knows,
Knows who they are, at least.
knows who they are.
Knows they're from Vegas.
And
We're from Vegas.
We're from Vegas. And Aaron went to school with the bass player, if I'm not mistaken, right? Or he knew.
That sounds right. I think there was a couple of them that went there.
Wait, actually, no. It was Kyle that went to school with the bass player.
Yeah, that's what it was. So the original bass player, his older brother, his name's Blake, and Kyle and I both. He went to Faith.
That's right. Okay. Yeah.
So I think they both left and went to Gorman, and I'm pretty sure a couple of the guys in Panic went to Gorman because I remember they went with Aaron's sister, so they're a couple years younger than us,
right.
and so she knew them pretty well.
Yeah. But anyway, Aaron apparently was given a demo disc.
Oh yes.
I think that's the story. I might be butchering it. I need to ask him about it. But
I feel like we have this on video. You remember like all those videos that you guys found?
I still have them.
Oh, you guys, you sent it to me. You got that big link.
Yes,
and I got all of it.
You got
yeah.
all of it. Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I think I'm in like
he
the
got,
last video.
He got a
that's it.
demo disc fucking 20 years ago.
Oh Jesus.
Before Panic at the Disco was even a thing. He looked at it and he was like, Panic at the Disco, and he put it in and listened to it and he was like, I don't see anything. This
My
band
favorite is it's got to be in the video. It has to be. But you see in the studio at Aaron's dad's house, you know, Aaron's sitting at the console, and you had to be filming. I don't know, but you overhear Allie in the background like, so yeah, did you listen to my friend's band? They're Panic at the Disco. They're brand new, you know, and I got this or whatever. Did you listen to it or whatever? And Aaron has this look on his face, and I'm probably quoting this wrong, but he goes, Panic at the Disco. The hell kind of name is that? And it's just like they can't be a band in Vegas. He's like, if they're gonna be a band in Vegas, they have to come through us first. We have to approve it.
what kind of band is Panic at the Disco?
Like, what is that?
This coming from a man who's in a band called A Beginner's Mind.
Right. Oh my gosh, it was so funny. I remember even a few years later, once they blew up, I'm pretty sure him and I talked about that. I was like, yeah, you remember that? And he goes, yeah. I was like,
we always remind him of that.
Kind of ate my words on that one.
we always remind him of that. We're like, hey, remember that
good.
time where you passed on Panic at the Disco?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still like telling the story of like, oh yeah, well, you like Panic at the Disco? Cool. Well, their old band opened for us a long time ago, and good God, they were bad. Did you ever remember them? Pet Salamander? Pet Salamander was Panic at the Disco before they were Panic at the Disco. It was before Brendan got in the band, the singer. It was the others.
Are you sure that was a Beginner's Mind, or was that Plum?
Well, it was, yeah. I mean, no, it was Panic at the Disco's old band. They opened for, yeah, I guess it was Plum.
Yeah.
It was before ABM.
It was your guys' band before we all joined forces.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. It was while you were still playing for Toy.
Yeah. Oh God. Yes. Toy.
Yes.
I was in a metal band called Toy. Yeah.
Yes. And I was in a band called Plum.
Yes.
Which actually, funny story about that is there was another band on MySpace called Plum and spelled the same way.
With the
and it
period?
No, well, we did that on our own. But it was an all-girl band, and I want to say they were from Nashville, and I still haven't heard any more about that. I feel like they're from Nashville or somewhere in the, I don't know. I can't remember, but I feel like I brought up the fact that I was like, oh yeah, my old band was called Plum, and I was like, oh, I heard of that band. I was like, no, you haven't.
I feel like a band called Plum would be like a terrible like indie rock band with just flowing hair and brown clothes and just
aside from the flowing hair, you're absolutely right.
I mean, just and like a band kind of like Tune Yards.
Well, my hair's long now, but then it wasn't like this, and you got Aaron and Jordan with their curly hair they had going on. This was before they grew it out too, though.
Yeah.
But yeah, God, those days.
Those
Jeez,
days.
that was a freaking lifetime ago.
I know. God.
Got some more whiskey? Wait, you still got it over there? Yeah, kill it.
Yeah.
Kill it. Knock it out. Do it.
Well, I think we're coming up on the end here. We've been talking for about like an hour and a half.
It's been an hour and a half.
Yeah, I think so. Hang on, let me see. Let me look at the clock here.
Holy crap.
Yeah, 8:43. We started at, I think, 7:15.
Wow.
So we're almost at an hour and a half.
That's impressive.
So
flew by.
Have you watched? So this is completely off subject, but I want to talk about it.
Oh, let's do it.
Did you watch Deadpool?
Yes.
Okay, it's incredible, right? Deadpool 2's coming out, and you know who's in Deadpool 2? Cable.
I vaguely remember Cable.
Cable is the son of Jean Grey and Scott Summers.
Oh, okay.
Otherwise known as Cyclops.
Right.
And Cable, so the storyline goes, Cable is born and he gets infected with some like machine disease, and like a machine kind of thing like eats away at his skin. And he like loses like his left arm to like his left arm is like this big metal fucking thing, and it comes up on his eye and whatever. So
sounds like he's Kano.
Yeah, sort of like Kano.
Yeah.
Well, you know. So Cyclops and Jean Grey have to send him to the future so that they find a cure for this disease to stop it. You know. So they send him to the future and they never see him again, or something to that effect. Well, anyway. Cable is like in the comics. Cable is Deadpool's like frenemy, like best frenemy.
Huh.
Which is enemy.
I don't know a lot of the comic stuff when it comes to like Deadpool and all that era and whatnot.
But anyway, the reason why I'm bringing it up, they just released an image of who's playing Cable.
Is it good?
It's Josh Brolin.
Really?
Yeah. Josh Brolin, you know, the guy from Goonies.
Oh yeah.
A bunch of other fucking movies. And I gotta tell you, he looks incredible. Like, it's like spot on, just like the comics.
That's good. Oh, it's good. I still love that Ryan Reynolds is freaking Deadpool.
I mean,
that's the best.
Man, he's fought for that for years.
He's your man crush.
Yeah, he is definitely. No, you're thinking of Matthew McConaughey.
Since when? I thought yours was always Ryan Reynolds.
Well, him too, of course.
Oh, right.
But Matthew
Top
McConaughey, because of that dragon movie.
Which dragon movie?
Dude, did they not tell you that story?
I don't know, probably not.
Where I'm like, just
we hadn't hung out in a while.
When I'm like, well, this was years ago. Like,
oh, great.
And like Aaron and Kyle and Jordan always, they fucking ream me for saying this, because we're all just like hanging out before rehearsal, and we're talking about movies, and for some reason I have I just want to say, hey guys, you know who has an awesome body? Fucking Matthew McConaughey in that dragon movie.
You say it out of nowhere.
Just out of nowhere. And from then on, Matthew McConaughey is my boyfriend.
Oh, yeah.
And
anything
I
like that,
care.
you get reamed for and never live it down.
But he has a fucking awesome body in that fucking dragon movie. What the fuck is that dragon movie called? Where the dragons come back from... Did you not watch that movie?
Fuck. No, I'm sorry. I'm sure Ashley's real comfortable with all your man talk here.
Oh, she knows about it. Don't even, she knows he's my man crush. If you don't like Matthew McConaughey, come on. Have you...
He's a good looking dude.
Have you seen True Detective?
I told you, I'm really bad at all the series and stuff.
Well, you need to watch the first episode. Oh, the first season of True Detective. That's fun. One of the best seasons of television. It's amazing. It was only like 9
I
episodes.
literally like it's all the shows that everybody raves about. I have refused to get into any new series since Lost.
Oh, Lost kind of ruined it for you.
It did, and it didn't like ruin it for me. It's just that it consumed me.
Game of Thrones. You got to give me Game of Thrones.
Haven't touched it.
Oh, fucking come on! I say Game of Thrones.
Not a single episode. I'm in the 1%.
No worry.
I know. I'm sure. And look, here's the thing. I'm not gonna like act like it's not. I'm sure it's amazing. I believe it. I fully believe it. Everybody who talks about it literally won't shut up about it. I totally get it. It's probably amazing. I can't do it. It's like 7 seasons in now, isn't it?
Yeah.
It'd be no.
But it's 7 seasons of awesome television. Breaking Bad. Give me Breaking Bad.
I saw maybe 1 episode.
God damn it.
I told you, since Lost, I haven't done it. Like anytime I sit down to watch TV, like I'll watch, like Netflix or whatever, I'll watch Friends or The Office, which...
I mean, come on. I've rewatched The Office like 7 times. So it's amazing.
I was actually watching that today.
I mean, it's in Parks and Rec. Have you seen Parks and Rec?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Parks and Rec's amazing, too.
It's great.
Even though, like, The Office is, like, great from season 1 till however long. Parks and Rec...
The entire thing, yeah.
Parks and Rec,
it's more of an episode here, an episode there. Same thing for me with It's Always Sunny, which I always liked it, but, anytime it was on, I was like, okay, cool. Like, it's hilarious, don't get me wrong, but... I never followed it. Like with The Office, I was like, I gotta watch the next episode.
Well, the best episode of television was Dwight setting fire to the office.
I was just thinking that. It was literally right after the Super Bowl. The way we joke about it, I was at a big Super Bowl party, and we're watching the Super Bowl or whatever, and it was the same year that Springsteen played. And everybody was cracking up because Springsteen pulls his one big move and he slides on his knees across the whole stage and right into the camera that is on. And I look over and my buddy Jimmy goes, "Oh my God, Springsteen just face fucked America." And I was like, what? What did you just say? And sure enough, and that was immediately after they did The Office, and it was that airing of, oh my God, like the greatest opening to an episode of any show ever.
I remember watching it with Gina.
Oh yeah,
Gina and my now wife. And we were just sitting, and we had to rewind it because it was so fucking funny.
Hilarious. Oh my God, the pandemonium in that office.
He
was
throws a chair
the best.
He throws a chair into the vending machine,
and he's just standing there, just like watching what everybody does. He heats up the door handles, just like with the torch. He's like,
I mean, that is a fucking funny show, man.
Amazing.
I wonder what those writers are doing now, because Parks and Rec is done. The Office has been done. I'm like, what are those writers doing now?
I don't know. I'd be curious.
Like, I love that.
They're doing something. Obviously.
I love that kind of like mockumentary format, and I'm surprised I haven't seen.
That one was so unique, though, too. Like, it got so big for being, like you said, like a mockumentary. I mean, how many others got even close to that? I mean, Parks and Rec, that was kind of mockumentary a little bit, I guess, but not. I didn't think it was anything like The Office.
Well, it's sort of kind of the same thing like The Office. It was like, well, you have interviews, and
I don't know.
Like you have the idea, like the cameramen are following you. It might
just
around.
be that The Office just holds a place in my heart, kind of thing. It could be just that, but oh my God, I can't even describe the amount of joy that
was magic.
It was awesome. It was so awkward.
Do you watch Modern Family?
Yes.
Modern Family is the same way.
Modern Family is great, but see, for me, it's not really. It's more of a sitcom, even though it's it's set sort of like a mockumentary. It's more of a sitcom to me.
Yeah.
It's the modern day sitcom.
But every character in that show is just incredibly written.
Amazing.
It's just Phil is my favorite.
Phil is the best. From what I heard too, I've heard that the actor, I don't even know his name. I've heard that the actor, like, that's him. Like he literally, that's how he acts. That's
He just always tried to strive for the affection of his wife, and
yeah, and he's just kind of awkward, and he's just goofy, and my favorite thing about him is his philosophy. Philosophy. It's so ridiculous.
When life gives you lemons. What was that one?
Oh my god, what was that one? Oh my gosh, I'm drawing a blank now. No, there's 2 minutes. No, I'm blanking on it now.
It's like, when life gives you lemons, just make lemonade, and life will be like, what? Something so fucking silly. God damn.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good.
Dude. Okay, so did you know that I forget his fucking name. The guy who played Al in Married with Children, he's
the grandfather.
Yeah. He's
Ed O'Neill.
He was on the Fighter and the Kid podcast, like I think last year, and they talked about like jiu-jitsu and stuff, and he's like almost, I think, a brown belt in jiu-jitsu, and he's like fucking 74.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's impressive.
Fucking, yeah, and he's like wrestling and sports and stuff, and like he's into fighting and boxing and shit.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I'm like, wow, I just wouldn't expect. I guess you kind of, because he always plays that kind of like big tough guy kind of.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he also, especially the character he was in Little Giants. Remember?
Yes.
Remember that?
Yes. Fucking Little Giants.
Yeah, dude.
My God.
Yeah. Yeah, and you're a Giants fan. Come on.
I know. Shit. I kind of hated that movie. I don't know why. I'm a big Giants fan. But,
I loved that movie as a kid. God, yeah. Good stuff.
Dude.
Old Ed O'Neill.
I need to.
You'll thank me tomorrow.
Yeah. All right. I think that.
Wait, we have one last thing to briefly touch on. And I'm going to bring it up.
Bring it up.
Because you've been talking about it in like every episode.
What am I talking about?
You know what I'm about to bring up.
What am I bringing? I don't know. I've been drinking.
The Irishman. Drink it up, man. Finish it off.
That's it.
That's it, huh?
That's it.
The Irishman.
The Irishman. Conor McGregor.
Yeah.
Do you follow UFC at all?
No, not really. I've seen a couple things here and there, especially like when I was working at a bar. You know, we'd have the fights on or whatever, and the bar I worked at was an Irish pub, so you know, there's.
Do you follow boxing or anything?
A little bit here and there.
Yeah.
We had, same thing when I was working at the bar. We had the Mayweather Pacquiao fight, which obviously everybody loved.
Have you watched Vasily Lomachenko?
No.
Dude, you need to do yourself a favor.
Really?
Yeah, he's probably the best pound for pound best boxer in the world right now.
Really?
Yeah, he's from
like an actual boxer, like
boxer.
like a good boxer.
He's in the 135.
Like one that doesn't just dance.
No. He's in the 135 division of boxing, and he has over 300.
135 is what? It's not featherweight, or is it
bantamweight?
Okay, I think that's right above featherweight. Isn't it?
Bantamweight is for UFC. I don't know if it's the same thing for boxing because I don't really follow boxing that much.
Gotcha.
But,
okay.
But anyway, yeah, he's 135, and he's from some fucking Russian country, and he has
Russian country. Because there's more than one that's not Russia.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm sorry if you're from Russia. Yeah, I'm a dumb American. I accept it. It's okay. Anyway, but man, he has over 300 amateur boxing fights. He's undefeated.
Wow.
He's
300?
fucking incredible. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. And so he just now, in the last couple of years, started fighting like real national, boxing championships. Right. And he's just clean.
And it's actual boxing, not UFC.
It's not boxing. It's UFC.
Oh, it is.
I'm sorry. It's not UFC. It's boxing.
Okay.
Sorry. But he is just cleaning house, and the way that he fights, his movement, and his just he's it's almost like he's in another dimension, and he's just dodging these punches. It's incredible.
He's in the Matrix.
He's in the Matrix. They call him the Matrix Fighter or
Seriously?
something. They call him something like
Neo?
The Matrix moves or some crazy.
Really?
Yeah, dude,
That's funny.
he's insane. Anyway, I know that I know that's not Conor McGregor, but you need to check him out because he's.
What's his name again?
Vasily Lomachenko.
That's a mouthful.
Yeah, it is a mouthful.
Vasily Lomachenko. Okay.
Vasily Lomachenko.
Cool.
Man, those
wait. Okay, so to get back to this because I know we're kind of wrapping this up here.
Yeah, let's wrap it up.
Who are you picking? You picking the Irishman?
It's so weird, man.
Or are you picking the Sportsman? I'm curious as shit. I'm so curious because first off, if it was just a straight up fight, no question, Conor McGregor would whip the shit out of Mayweather. There's no question.
Right.
But the mere fact that it is a boxing match makes me intrigued, because the one thing that Floyd is great at is being a boxer. And what I mean by that is essentially playing the game of boxing.
He doesn't get hit.
No, he doesn't.
No.
He's very elusive. And what he does is, and you know, it was one of the big arguments when it was when they were promoting him versus Pacquiao was, yeah, look at the last however many people that he's beat compared to Pacquiao. You know, and Pacquiao is the guy who was like beat to a pulp, and Mayweather they look pretty clean.
Yeah.
Which, okay, fine. But that's the beauty of it right there.
Yeah.
Is what Mayweather is brilliant at is being a boxer. He's very elusive and he tags points. He doesn't necessarily beat the crap out of the guy, but he tags the points to win the freaking fight.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
he's
sure.
the best at it.
Yeah,
he's
absolutely.
the best.
Absolutely he is. First off, I mean, don't get me wrong. I would love to see Conor McGregor go in there and just literally just box the shit out of him. That'd be great.
That's, I mean,
But
so
the thing I'm curious about though is if Conor gets too excited to just beat the crap out of this guy I think the potential for him to get disqualified is through the roof, in my opinion.
Well, it's interesting. A lot of people think that anything could happen in this. I mean, like, Conor McGregor is usually in the UFC a defensive fighter, and what I mean by that, he's a counter fighter. Yeah, like, he reads his opponents, and
he's got a huge reach too.
He's got a huge reach. But what he normally does is he reads his opponents, and if he has time, he studies them to try to figure out their habits and see like where they're going to come from and how, what certain moves and what certain feints they use. And so it's going to be interesting because Floyd is also a counter fighter. So
interesting.
You have basically
nobody going to attack.
They're both like
but
reading
if that
each
happens,
other.
Who's going to win? Floyd.
Exactly. So Conor has to come at it somewhat differently.
Yeah, absolutely.
And recently,
he called fourth round.
Yeah, I know he called fourth round because that's what Conor does.
That's true. He hasn't been wrong yet.
I mean,
yet. We'll see. But
well, I mean, we'll see. We'll see what happens. I mean, anything can happen. It's a fight.
I'm curious as shit.
What Conor's really good at is studying his opponents. If he has time to study you and study your habits, he's really good at figuring you out. There is a clip of Conor before his Jose Aldo fight. He had about a good.
I remember that one.
He had about a good 4 months to learn, like everything that Jose Aldo, and he had a plan, and you can see before the fight even starts him practicing in the back room, just like exactly what he's going to do. He's going to sit here, sit back, wait, and then throw the left or throw the left. Sit back, wait, throw the left, and he does that in the back room. Fast forward to the actual fight, does the same exact thing and knocks him out in 13 seconds.
Yeah,
so
he called that one too.
And he called it. And so, like,
same thing. He's been studying Mayweather for, like, he's been trying to get this fight for a long time.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just saying, like, a lot of people discount Conor because, he's a UFC fighter and boxing's the sweet science, and I get that.
Sure.
Right? And you could very well be right. Logic would dictate that a person who is in an entirely different sport coming over to boxing.
From what I understand, though, like, straight up boxer, though, the dude's no joke. That's what a couple things here and there, a couple small videos I've seen, but it's
I don't know if you've heard about the last week's events that has been happening. So let me catch you up to speed. So Paulie Malignaggi is an ex boxer, two weight time champion. Now he's an analyst, and he's been an analyst for I think about 2 years. He just retired. When this Conor McGregor Floyd Mayweather fight was talked about and everyone wanted to see it happen, he was quoted to saying, like, just basically talking shit on Conor McGregor, just like, who the fuck does he think he's going to scare in a fucking boxing match? The cameraman would have a better shot at fighting him. Just like talking all this shit, like after interview talking all this shit. And so fast forward to the actual fight actually happening, Conor gives Paulie a call and says, hey, I want you guys, I want your expertise. I want to spar with you. And Paulie takes it.
Interesting.
So Paulie takes it, and Paulie's thinking, like mutual respect between fighters, and like he's just going to go in there and show him, what it is to
the ropes kind of
show him the ropes of like boxing's going to be.
Yeah.
And no one's ever seen the tapes of them sparring. And the first time that they sparred, he was quoted in an interview, and his demeanor is markedly changed. So before the sparring, before he got into the camp, he's like talking shit about Conor. He's like, who the fuck is he going to scare? Blah, blah. First, and then after the first sparring, he's very respectful. He's very like, he's noticeably bruised in his face. And his body language kind of screams like he was shown a little something that he wasn't prepared for. But I don't know, because we don't know what really happened in the sparring. And what he said about the sparring was like it was educational, quote unquote, educational. Which means, he was ready. We went a good hard 8 rounds, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And then he got called. Yeah, and then he got called in for a 12 round.
Which he
accepted. And then after the sparring, everything was okay. And then Conor releases a couple images from the sparring session. And those images do not put Paulie in a very good light. If you look on the internet, the images that Conor released was a good left hand to Paulie's face, and you see Paulie just getting hit.
So he caught him. Yeah.
Right here. And then there's another one where there's some controversy about this. Because
there always is about everything.
So the other picture is him on the ground, like just basically getting knocked down. And then Conor just sitting here like a fucking Irish Viking, just like, motherfucker, you know? And at that point, when the photos released, Paulie left the camp. He was pissed. And he's like going on like all these interviews saying like, I beat his ass, like don't believe the pictures. And so now it's become this big controversy. So who's telling the truth? You know, meanwhile, he's saying like he beat Conor's ass. Conor said he beat his ass. The photographer says, don't believe Paulie. Like it's not Photoshop. There's no push down. There's no fucking, this is not a conspiracy. He knocked him down. So,
wow.
So Paulie is a very good boxer. He's a world champion.
Sure.
Twice.
Yeah.
So he's no Floyd Mayweather, of course, but still he's a boxer.
Right.
And again, Paulie's retired. He's been retired for 2 years, so you got to take that in consideration. But this whole idea that Conor has absolutely zero chance is kind of being in question. It's like, well, you know,
like I said, I'm curious as shit.
Something happened in those sparring rounds that, you know, it wasn't just like as if Paulie trounced him.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
I hope it. You know what? Regardless of who wins, first off, I mean, obviously, I hope that McGregor wins. I just flat out do. I just think it'll be interesting. But no matter what happens, I just hope it's a flat out good fight. I really do, because I think sports people who are into boxing fans deserve that, because honestly, when was the last one that was a really good one? Honestly, I should say the last one was such a, you know.
What pisses me off though, what pisses me off about that is like boxing fans want to see this, but like the boxing analysts, like people who are like real deal boxing heads, hate the idea of this fight.
Oh, I'm sure they do.
They feel like it's a cash grab. They feel like it's, and you know what? It might be, but I gotta fucking tell you, it's the most exciting fucking boxing match that I've ever been excited for. I don't even watch boxing.
If McGregor goes through it and gets frustrated and gets disqualified, that's what's gonna fuck it up. That's one of the,
even then,
that's one of the things that I'm wondering about, because like I said, the potential for him to get frustrated or whatever because Mayweather's avoiding him the whole fight or whatever is through the roof.
But even then, though, even if he does get frustrated and throws a kick, just out of fucking frustration, you'd be like, that was worth my $100.
Could you imagine just wham? See ya.
That was worth my $100. Because when's the last time you ever seen that?
Oh my god! Well, yeah.
You know, because I feel like, you know, like a normal. I understand that boxing is a sweet science, and there are people who really are into boxing, and I totally respect that.
It is a sport.
I really
Absolutely
do. It's a 100. But that's what I'm saying. It's a sport.
I agree.
So, you know, Conor comes from a sport. But the UFC is more, we can all agree, I think, that the UFC is more of the simulation of a real fight.
Sure.
You know,
it's a lot. I mean, sure, there's rules, but yeah, I mean, you're right.
There's no eye gouging or biting or anything, but like, you know,
Sure, but it's a ground and pound fight. Like it's a brawl between two people kind of thing. It's absolutely.
Yeah.
It's a street fight almost.
Yeah. It's as much of a street fight it could be besides.
Yeah, with having some kind of structure. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I don't know where I was going with that, but I was going somewhere. Yeah. I was going somewhere with that.
No, you're right. No, but boxing is a sport, and that's where I was going with that on the whole thing, is what Floyd is great at is the sport of boxing. That's why he's so damn elusive, and he tags points, and that's how he wins.
Yeah.
You know? It makes sense. Man. It makes sense that he does not want to get into an octagon with McGregor.
Oh no,
it completely makes sense. Even though, of course, in the recent interviews, he's like, "Oh, I'll do it." You're like, no, you won't. Shut up.
No, fuck you won't.
You know, because you're smarter than that.
He will single leg you.
Oh,
he will just swift fucking roundhouse kick.
He could tackle him, and it's legal. You know, like tackle, boom, see ya. You know, that's it. I mean, it would be inside of 10 seconds. It would be like a record. It would be crazy. But once again, being the sport of boxing, it's going to be interesting. And I really hope, once again, for boxing fans in particular, because they deserve it. They deserve a good fight. I hope it's a good fight. I really do.
Well, it's going to be entertaining regardless.
Well, entertaining, yes, but a good fight is a whole nother story.
If you ever just watch Connor just like talk, just him talking,
him
shit
talking is entertaining.
Is well worth $100.
His pinstripes are entertaining.
Oh my god, his pinstripe suit's amazing. I mean,
when he said that in the interview, I cracked up, and then of course the pictures came out. I was like, that's amazing. Oh yeah, and then you guys talked about it recently.
Yeah,
so good.
It's amazing.
So good.
I am so excited for the fight.
I am too. The 26th.
The 26th. Yeah. Only like a couple weeks away.
I know.
I can't believe
it's in Vegas, isn't it?
Yeah, of course it's in Vegas.
Is it MGM or Mandalay?
Ooh, I don't know. T-Mobile.
Really?
Yeah,
that's a good idea.
If I'm not mistaken.
Good old T-Mobile's taking over Vegas.
Well.
Yeah,
that's the new one, isn't it?
Yeah, that's new. That's with the new hockey team.
The new hockey team. What's the hockey team's name? Do we know yet?
Yes, we do.
What is it?
I don't like it.
What is it?
I don't like it. It's awful.
What's the name?
The Vegas Golden Knights.
Ew, gross.
Right. Okay. We're supposed to be wrapping this up, but we got more tangents to get to. Okay, you're from Vegas. Okay, I have been a Predators fan for the last 5, 6, 7 years, something like that. And, it's been great. And obviously the clout that everything happened. The Predators went to the Stanley Cup playoffs this year. Didn't win, lost to Pittsburgh, but to be a part of what happened in this city, I don't know if you saw anything about it, if you were downtown at all. I don't,
Oh, we were a part of it because we actually went to a 30 Seconds to Mars concert.
That's right. Yeah, that was one of the nights. Oh, dude.
Yeah.
It was nuts. I mean, I was downtown for a lot of the finals.
Yeah.
And it was so wild to see. I mean, did you go wander? Did you see Broadway?
Oh,
yeah.
Way it was? We walked by it. We were like, this is fucking insane.
It was insane. They closed off all of Broadway, and there were just people. There was 100,000 people downtown.
Yeah.
And it was the same time as like CMA week. And what else was going on? I mean, Bonnaroo's in town, so there's a bunch of people in the area too. But like, there was so much going. It was crazy.
Yeah, it was so crazy.
It was wild to see.
It was so crazy that when we were watching 30 Seconds to Mars in Muse, like 30 Seconds to Mars while they were playing,
that show was awesome.
It was amazing. And that new stadium is incredible.
Oh, the amphitheater?
Yeah, the amphitheater is amazing.
Yeah.
I've never been. But anyway, so Jared Leto, every now and then, between songs, we go, by the way, it's 2-1. And everyone go, yeah! Fucking Predators!
That's awesome.
And so,
I heard he came out in like a jersey or a shirt or something.
By the end of the show, all of the band members are wearing Predator shirts.
Nice. That's awesome. It was so cool to see. So, I mean, where I'm going with that is, for me, I'm like, that being in a town, being from Vegas, we never had pro teams. So obviously everybody had their own whatever. Mostly it was football. But, coming here, became a Titans fan because of living here for, we've been here forever. And I've been a Predators fan, and watching all that going through, whatever, is so cool. And then finding out and watching the fact that, oh my God, Vegas is going to get a team. I was like, that's really cool. It's the home team, like whatever. And then watching how everything's going, hearing a couple of the rumors of what the name might be. Like when it first was announced what the name was going to be, it was going to be the Black Knights. And I didn't like that really either, but I was like, it's not the best, but okay, we'll see what happens. Like Like, why would you have a knight? You know, you're thinking armor and all that. Like, what does it have to do with Vegas?
Yeah, it's nothing to do with
I come to find out that the owner, whatever, something like that, it has to do with his actual company. It's called like the Knights, or it was something like that. I can't remember. And then when it came down to it, there was 3 options of a name, and it was either the Black Knights, the Silver Knights, or the Golden Knights. And I'm like, why are those the 3 options?
Why are those the 3 options?
Like those, like out of the 3 of those, the Black Knights is the best. But
Yeah. Or the Dark Knights.
yeah, the Dark Knights would be way better. Although I think that would be more fitting for Chicago, considering they filmed all of that shit there.
Yeah.
But, you know, anyway. But they decide on the Golden Knights. Like, this is fucking terrible. Okay. All right. We'll see what happens. Maybe the merch is cool, whatever. They release the uniforms. Now, the color scheme...
Is it not even golden?
There's gold.
Is it golden pink?
It looks to me like the German flag. Like there's black, there's gold, there's red.
Okay.
And
I need to see the pictures.
The way it's done, I'm looking at it going, I'm not personally not crazy about it. I'm like, okay, you know, maybe I'll get a hat or something. And me, I'm like a jersey fanatic when it comes to sports stuff. I love jerseys. And it's like, yeah, I'm gonna have to get a jersey. And then, you know, they came down to it. They did like since they're an expansion team, they did a draft and essentially picked somebody from each of the teams.
Right.
And so they got somebody from the Predators. Oh, it'd be great to get it. Was James Neal. Like, oh, it'd be great to get a James Neal jersey. You know, and they released the jerseys. I'm like, oh, those are ugly. Oh my god, I hate them. And then I see. Or no, I'm talking about it with my cousin, with Travis.
Yeah.
And he goes, dude, have you seen any of the merch? And I'm like, oh, don't give me more bad news. And he sends me a link, and it's literally all the merch is very much like very gaudy and very like Vegas souvenir store merch. And I'm going, okay.
That's the equivalent of the Predators having a cowboy hat. Like
it's no, literally like a pink cowboy hat. Yeah, totally. And I'm looking at it going, okay. We've never had a home team in our entire lives, you know, obviously until moving here. But for Vegas, never had one. And I'm looking at it like, I want to root for the home team. I've been a Preds fan for 6-7 years, so I mean, I'd root for them as long as they're not against the Preds at this point. Okay, I'm a big enough fan, I think. To, you know, that's my stance on it. But I want to root for my home team, and I swear to God, they keep giving me reasons not to. And it just irritates me. Okay, guys, get your shit together. Get some better merch. Get some better people to figure the shit out. Let's do it. Well, and then they're getting Raiders too. I'm like, oh, they're gonna have 2 teams.
Yeah, well, at least we got the fucking Raiders. The Raiders is a dope team. So
I've never been a fan of the Raiders, but I'll tell you, they've been intriguing me ever since they drafted Derek Carr.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah. So we have the Raiders, and maybe it'll be like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Remember how the Tampa Bay Buccaneers had fucking orange and white?
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't mind those.
Really? Oh,
okay.
God,
as a throwback uniform, I love them. I'll say that.
As a throwback, yeah. Okay, fine. I'll give you that.
As in every I could totally see every week. No, that's not good.
I
the
still
creamsicles,
say,
right?
Yeah, the creamsicles. Like to this day, I can say like the reason why Tampa Bay started doing good is because they changed their fucking uniforms.
Right. Well, that and Gruden.
Whatever.
And Warren
it was
Sapp.
the uniforms. It was the fucking uniforms. All right, dude. We gotta
wrap this up. Cool, dude.
But thanks for coming on here, man.
Absolutely.
On short notice.
Cheers you, but looks like we finished all the booze.
Hey, that's cheers. That's cheers worthy. That's what we do.
Wait, we got a little drop left. Yours has a little splash of wine in there.
Makes it nice and fruity.
Oh yes, very cool.
All right. Until next time.
Until next time, which is hopefully sooner than.
Yeah, we live really close to each other.
Yeah.
So
close.
Definitely make this more of a thing.
Definitely.
Thanks, brother.
Absolutely. Drums and video games.
Yes.
Love it. Cool.
Thanks, guys, for listening. As always, follow me on Instagram, Wise Drums. On Twitter, The Wise Drums. Facebook is Explicit Materia. If you want to follow my personal Facebook, it's Wise Drums. Facebook.com/Wise Drums. Follow my YouTube for clips and covers and stuff. YouTube.com/Wise Drums. And thanks for listening. For those of you who are kind of confused in the direction of this podcast, so am I. I am too. I originally wanted to be like video games and stuff, but not all my friends are video game nerds, so we talk about other things as well. So it's kind of a mix between, the Joe Rogan kind of way, just like talking about whatever, and some nerdy stuff too, because I'm into video games and anime and shit. So it's kind of a mix of the two. And maybe eventually I'll get it all together. But right now I'm having a good time and experimenting. So, again, if you guys want me to, if you guys have any questions or anything, or just shoot me a line at fucking at any of my socials. I'm listening. I'm here. So let me know if there's a specific thing you want me to talk about. Because if not, I'm just gonna do whatever the fuck I want. So, yeah. So stay tuned for another episode. Episode 10's coming up, and I'm excited. See ya.